Pick up your phone, man. We're supposed to shoot today. Okay. Hey, Ian. Been trying to call you for weeks, man. We got to do our next episode of the Bassett Brothers videos for our channel, and what's that smell? And what is all that junk?
Don't touch that, it's not junk.
When was the last time you saw the sun? It doesn't exactly smell like roses in here.
It's all here, all of it. The greatest secret music has ever known.
I'm not following.
3 is the most important number to all societies, both sacred and secular. There are 3 parts to an atom: proton, neutron, electron. There are 3 seen dimensions: length, width, height. There are 3 states of time: past, present, future. 3 primary colors, 3 wise men, Holy Trinity. We even build shrines cross-culturally with pyramids.
Don't you think you're going a little bit nuts with all this conspiracy stuff?
Conspiracy, singular, the power of 3.
Reaching back to ancient times, there has always been a secret cabal enforcing the significance of the number 3. Everywhere we turn, 3 is shown to be of utmost importance. But why? What sinister motive could possibly be behind music's greatest secret? Why do 3 notes rule all of harmony? Using an inclusive style of counting, we can count 1, 2, 3, and find ourselves a third away from our starting position. And there you have the interval of a third.
Hold on. Let's recap what we already know. Yes, thirds are very important to music, but we can start by using the scales we learned last episode to find our thirds. So using the C major scale, we can count up. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Right, and if we use an inclusive style of counting, we can go C is 1 up to 3. So C, D, E. C to E would be a third.
Correct, and if you go a third away from that original third, so it would go 3, 4, 5, or E, F, G, you get your next third, which is an E to a G.
Now let's stack those thirds together. We would get C, E, G, or
intervallically speaking, 1, 3, 5, which is a
triad. A sinister cabal, a chimera of sorts, with the intent of destroying humanity. I was thinking more like Ghidorah from Godzilla.
I always called it that, but humor has left my person at this point. So, if we apply the 1, 3, 5 formula to any member of the scale, as long as we factor in the correct sharps and flats from the key signature, we will get our chords.
So what makes this a conspiracy? I mean, I get we have the number 3. There's an international crime organization called the Triad.
Yes, yes.
So by treating different members of the scale as a triad, we get...
Using the 1-3-5 formula on each note, we can ascertain these triads for each note in C.
These triads in C, they seem vaguely familiar. I've seen them before. Some the same, some different.
All root position triads will have these same note combinations. For a C chord, that will be a C, E, and a G. Sure, there will be sharps, there will be flats, it could be major, it could be minor, it could be diminished, but it will never have a different spelling for note combinations than this. Don't be fooled by your eyes, despite what the note looks like.
So what we're saying is it's very important to memorize these alphabetical combinations for the triads. The only differences will be where the sharps and flats are placed in different triads for different key signatures.
Precisely. Don't fool yourself by using enharmonics. Don't look down at your keyboard or over at your guitar neck to figure out what the notes are. Use your mind. They want you to forget. Subjugate you through stupid.
But I've seen chords not stacked in inversions, extended harmony. Don't skirt the subject at hand. Relax, dude, I'm just saying.
We need to get to the root of the issue, build from there.
Okay, we've done that, so let's hear some chords. Great.
Major or minor?
Well, obviously there was both, but then there was also...
Let's hold off on that 7th scale degree in major. We'll get there at some point. Let's talk distance.
The distance from a C to an E.
C to D is a whole step. D to E is a whole step.
2 whole steps, a major third. Now E to G.
E to F is a half step, and F to G is a whole step.
A whole step plus a half step, a minor third. The total distance from C to a G?
Some combination of 3 whole steps and a half step, which equals a perfect fifth.
Exactly. A major third at the front end of the scale, a minor third at the back end of the scale, for a total distance of a perfect fifth, which gives us a major triad.
Okay, I know where this is going.
DFA, the second chord. DEF is a whole step and a half step, and FGA is 2 whole steps. So D to A is 3 whole steps and a half step, which is another perfect fifth.
The front end minor, the back end major, a minor triad.
I get it. Apply it to each note in the scale, one of the 2.
So now I can use the word diminished, like the triad plans to do to our brains' abilities. Okay, right? But we've gotten to B, the 7th scale degree in major, and instantly we notice something a little different. Humor me, walk me through what you see.
B to C is a half step. C to D is a whole step?
Oh wow, was that all? A minor third. You've done well with that master's degree in teaching position.
Chill, man. Okay, D to E is a whole step, and E to F is a half step.
A minor third. Again, don't you see? 2 minor thirds, which makes a diminished triad.
And the distance of a fifth?
Well, it's only 2 whole steps and 2 half steps, which is smaller. It's more imperfect.
A diminished fifth, a tritone, triad, tritone, otherwise known as the devil's interval.
You're not suggesting...
Of course not. The confabulation surrounding the tritone was a smokescreen to get the public to focus on the odd occurrence of the shortened fifth, or its inverse to the lengthened fourth, to draw attention away from its true purpose. The diminished chord exists in all major scales naturally. The tritone is as natural as Laura Scudder's peanut butter. All that happens is the same thing that happens during a leap year, except during a scale. We have to change our triad lengths to fit the rules that we have already established to get back to our tonic.
Why do that? Why go to all the trouble?
We think Roswell. I mean, we don't ask about music experiments conducted by the evil triad, but we talk about little green men in a tiny little town.
Let's just chart this.
Using the process we just learned, we can find out the quality of each triad found in the C major scale. This chart shows the results.
So learn it well.
My hero. Well done. Okay, now we have the major scale triads with corresponding Roman numerals. Uppercase for major, lowercase for minor, and then lowercase with a circle subscript for the diminished triad. But what do we do about minor? Yes, exactly. We can apply the same principle to minor, we just start on that A minor triad. But there's a few addendums in harmony.
They figured since the minor scale doesn't naturally have a half step that takes you home to the tonic, that movement home was weak, thus the raising of the 7th scale degree.
Which also creates harmonic minor. So, watch our episode on scales to learn a little bit more about harmonic minor. We'll include a link in the description below. But for now, just remember you gotta raise that 7th. So any triad that contains the 7th is going to have an accidental.
Here's the natural minor scale and each tone's corresponding triad quality. And here's the chart for the harmonic minor chord qualities. Notice the difference between the 3, 5, and 7 chords qualities as compared to natural minor. This is due to the raised 7th scale degree.
Augmented. That word. Augmented.
What about it?
Well, hear me out. If you can stack 2 minor thirds on top of each other, create a diminished chord,
Okay.
What happens if you stack 2 major thirds on top of each other?
Well, I guess you get an augmented triad. But we already went through all the triads that occur naturally in a scale.
Well, not everything the triad does is natural. They bend the world to their will. So if you could put 2 minor thirds on top of each other to create a diminished chord, suffice to say, they will have put 2 major thirds on top of each other, created an augmented chord just to fill out all the combinations.
I feel like this is only the beginning.
It is. By golly, it is.
Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time on Music Theory. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and share with all your music buddies. Say hello in the comments and see ya.
I see it. Did you have a stroke? I made your third front end, or like you didn't say no or whatever. So
Well, we have playback.
okay. 5, 4.
Jackrabbit!
Whoa, stupid. Did we slow down talking? What was it doing? Ready for your close up? Martha. Go.
Augmented. That word.